This is Gene Krebs.
Hi there. Oh. Whoop. Whoosh.
And we're high on Ohio.
We really looked at strategic areas that the community had decided were important to the community and its residents and other stakeholders.
Okay.
And so we look at economic development, physical environment and safety, community, family environment, what communities need as families, education, and just recently put together pieces that looked at health and well-being.
Okay.
And youth development. The realization comes to play when you think that if communities don't thrive, our city and our state and our nation doesn't thrive. And residents have to, and other stakeholders have to see the importance of community and its participation in the economic growth. A lot of people say, well, you should go down to they should go down to the state and lobby. And I kept on saying to someone, so as an employer, would I let my staff take off and I work at the hotels, the banks, the library, where things are going on at the time that you want me to come to Columbus and lobby? That's work time. So how are we setting up? We stay sometimes in that same system that didn't work. And in other circumstances, we would say, if you keep doing the same thing over and over, but expecting a different outcome, and you get the outcome, what is that called? So I say to my staff and to anyone that comes into our community, if you want to talk to our residents, they're at several meetings. You can't beat them coming to a meeting. But how many more meetings do you want to set up that they come to? Or are we preparing them when we can get them to the meetings to understand the purpose of the meeting? We've got to think about not setting up the same systems to try to reach, but understand how people communicate. There are multiple ways that we must communicate with our folks.
Okay.
And so we're, in this community, we don't have a lot of computers.
Right.
That families are connected to computers.
Right.
So for the families that have computers, our youth touch Facebook because they have the little smartphones.
Right.
So for certain targeted populations, but when we want to reach our seniors, we go straight to where they are.
Right.
So how do we communicate in multiple ways to reach the multiple population at levels where they are? There's people say, well, I'm representing and I'm speaking on behalf of, and I haven't seen the evidence of that.
Okay.
I want to be able to, do you have a meeting when you go back home, whatever home is?
Okay.
Do you
Right now, home is my suitcase in the state of Ohio.
Do you gather people together to have that discussion?
Okay.
Can we set the agenda? There is very little in place for us to set an agenda that travels to the state or travel to the governor. That's just where I'm feeling on issues of this here. When my representatives say I'm representing this block of people, but very few come home and talk to me.
Pleasant.
A pleasant place to be. We sort of took that tagline onto it.
Well,
We're the biggest urban park in the state of Ohio, next door here. Festivals, things that go on, but we've got to also figure out how do we publicize ourselves, because all the other things that come out, we've asked people to cover great things that go on in this community. We can't get that coverage, but as soon as someone gets shot, every news media is out, but all of a sudden you have someone available. Only time was, every year we have the parade in September, Labor Day parade. Everybody shows up right down this street right here. And then we don't see them again until either election year or somebody they're supporting, and now they come down this street. It was started by Congressman Louis Stokes at that time. And so And that's the feeling that a lot of our residents get.
For more about the Center for Community Solutions or their publications, please visit www.communitysolutions.com.